We all place our hope in something. God has hardwired all of us for hope. We dream of the future and imagine things as we would desire them to be. We secretly wish things to be different than they are. The fact is, we all hope in something and we all hope for something. Because life is hard. We all encounter moments when life doesn't seem to be working as it should. Sometimes we're bitterly disappointed. We experience moments of loss. We endure moments with unexpected trials. But does this mean that God has forgotten you? Does this mean that He is unfaithful to His promises? Or could it be that these momentary struggles in life are not the failure of His plan, but an integral part of His plan? When Hope Women's Center was completely destroyed from a severe winter storm in February of 2021, I had almost lost hope. I couldn't understand why God would allow this, and none of it made sense. Little did I know all that the Lord was about to do. It was one of the age-old stories of what the enemy meant for evil. God allowed it for good, for the saving of many lives. As we began to build out our new ministry home, the Lord began to build new dreams in our hearts. He was asking us to reimagine and expand the traditional services that are typically available at a pregnancy resource center. He was calling us to go after the most vulnerable, those that are often ignored, while at the same time never losing focus of our primary mission to be a voice for the voiceless, the preborn child. Scripture calls us to protect the powerless, defend the defenseless, and rescue those being led away to death. And last year, we experienced a 200% increase in patients. But what God led us to do was far more than mere numbers, pregnancy tests, and ultrasounds. When we began offering advanced medical care, like expanded STD testing, post-abortion medical exams, and now abortion pill reversal, Hope Women's Center began to change. Not only were we serving women and couples facing an unplanned pregnancy who were feeling the pressures to abort their child, now those caught in the perils of prostitution were walking through our doors. And then word began to spread, and prostitutes from all over the Metroplex are now coming to us for help. Young women who were stolen and held captive in sex trafficking rings are finding us and reaching out for help. Recently, a young teenage girl who was being held by traffickers in Dallas was rescued by law enforcement because of courageous acts taken by our team. That young girl called one of our medical team members the very next day and said, "Thank you for saving me." Weekly, we are being contacted by women who are completely distraught and suffering life-threatening consequences due to a botched abortion. What's crazy is, oftentimes, it's the abortion clinics that are even telling these girls to call us for help because they can't or won't help them. Many feel hopeless, and they express great amounts of shame. We see these women as modern-day examples of the parable of the Good Samaritan. Their situations and circumstances have left them bloodied and beaten on the side of the road. So the question is, are we going to be like those that were religious and pass them by, ignoring them in their most critical time of need? Or are we going to turn toward them and care for them, pointing them to the one who is hope? Paul says it all in Romans 5:5 when he tells us that hope does not disappoint, and we know that true hope can only be found in Jesus Christ. Only He is able to give our patients the life their hearts seek. Only He is able to give them the rest their soul needs. Only He can provide the peace that doesn't make sense in circumstances that are out of their control. He is everything their hoping heart has been searching for, and we have the opportunity to share that with them. One day, Christ will return, and I can hardly wait for that day. But until then, we've got work to do. Will you join us in serving the lost, the least, and the voiceless? Will you be the Good Samaritan? The Lord is calling Hope to be a national leader in the pregnancy center movement. So will you link arms with us to do something bold and unprecedented? Will you help us share with others that there is hope for tomorrow?